Hello! My name is Ellie, and this is the first video of the Crochet Garden. What is the Crochet Garden, you may ask? The Crochet Garden is my personal project for my last year of high school as an IB student. And for this project, I decided to make a YouTube channel about one of my biggest passions, crochet. My goal in this channel is to make crochet easier for you as a beginner. Because I know that when I began to crochet, it was very hard for me to learn because I didn't know what to use, how can I begin, what materials to use. So I hope that by my videos you can avoid going through that process that I went through. So this first video, of course, is the introductory to the big world of crochet, which is the basics. So the basics are basically the stitches that you need to know for future projects, for my future videos, because those are the stitches that I use the most, and also that you can find a lot on the internet if you find other patterns. So yeah. And the materials I'm gonna use for this video are this big ball of bulky yarn and this big hook of 8mm. So when you're a beginner, I recommend that you use a thicker yarn and a thicker hook, because then you can easily see what you're doing, and also you don't really want to get into the finer details that you may do if you use a smaller hook, like this one, for example. So yeah, now we're going to move on to the next stitch, to the first stitch actually. So the first stitch that I'm gonna introduce to you is not actually a stitch, it's more like the base of almost every project that you're gonna do in crochet. It's called the chain. So first, when you need to make a chain, you need to start with a loop. How do you do a loop? You take your index finger and your middle finger, you put the tail of your yarn over here, hold it with your thumb, you take this tail, you go around, cross that end of the tail, then hold this intersection, then you remove your fingers, then this long end, you pull it through the loop that you made, and then you just take the end and whoop, there you go. So this is your loop. You take your hook, pull it through, and you pull this long end, and there you go. You have your first loop. Now, to make a chain, which is a combination of those loops, you need to go under the yarn, which is called the yarn over. So every time I say yarn over, you do this. Alright, so yarn over, and pull through the loop. Again, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull. We're gonna do one more. So that we have here 4 chains. If you can see well, you have 4 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one doesn't count because it's on your hook. So you always count the ones that are before this one. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the real first stitch, which is called the slip stitch. So for that, you need to go into the first chain here. You go through, yarn over, pull it through. Now you have 2 loops. You take this second loop that you just made and you pull it through the first loop. This is a slip stitch. We're gonna do it again. Push the hook through the second chain, yarn over, pull. You have 2 loops. You take the second loop and pull it through the first loop. A last time, through the chain, yarn over, pull, second loop into the first loop. So this is your slip stitch. So now I'm gonna show you the stitch that is the most used stitch in all crochet, which is called the single crochet. This, if you don't know this, you can start crocheting, okay? So it's really simple. You're gonna go through your first chain again with your hook, you yarn over, pull the yarn through the chain. Now you're gonna have 2 loops, but you won't pull the second loop into the first loop like you did with the slip stitch. You're going to yarn over again, like this, and pull through the 2 loops. You're gonna do that again, so push through the chain, yarn over, pull through. You're gonna have your 2 loops here. You're gonna yarn over and pull through those loops again. One last time, a bit faster, push through, yarn over, pull. You're gonna have your 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 chains. And that is going to be your single crochet. Now we're going to get into the bigger stitches, and we're gonna start with the half double crochet. So for that, you need to yarn over first. So you have yarn over your hook, then you go through the chain, you yarn over, pull, and you're gonna have 3 loops. So now, like the single crochet, you're gonna yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. We're gonna do that again. So yarn over, go through, yarn over again, pull through. You're gonna have 3 loops here. You yarn over and pull a yarn through the 3 loops. I'm gonna do that a bit faster now. So yarn over, push, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops. And that is your half double crochet. So now, instead of doing a half double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet. So a double crochet is almost the same thing as a half double crochet. So you're gonna yarn over again, push through the chain, yarn over, pull through that first chain. You're gonna have your 3 loops, but instead of going through the 3 loops at the same time, you're going to yarn over and pull through the 2 first loops, like this. So now you will be with 2 remaining loops. So you're going to yarn over again and pull through these 2 remaining loops. We're gonna do that again. So yarn over, go through the next chain, pull through. You're gonna have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through the 2 first, then yarn over again and through the 2 remaining. One last time, a bit faster, yarn over, go through the last chain, yarn over again, pull through. I'm gonna have 3 chains, pull through the 2 first and the 2 last. Alright, and this is your double crochet. So now I will show you kind of a magic trick, okay? So what we're going to do now is called a waistcoat stitch, which when you finish it, it looks like you did knitting, but you actually did it with crochet, which is very tricky. So for the first row, we're going to do just single crochets. So like I showed you previously, go through, pull through the 2 loops, again, this, like this. So this is your first row, right? Okay. Now to change rows, you're going to chain again, like this, and you turn your work over. Now, normally, if you would have done just another row of single crochet, you would have gotten into this loop right here. But for the waistcoat stitch, we're going to go through the middle between the first chain and the second chain. So we're gonna find that perfect middle, which is about here. Just a second, let me find it. Yep, okay, fine, I found it. So see, it's the perfect middle between the first chain and the second chain. How you can also identify it is if your hook is surrounded by yarn, that there's not a gap. So when you go through that middle, you yarn over, pull, and you do the same thing as single crochet. We're gonna do that again. You find your middle, you yarn over, pull, you go through the 2 loops, and there we go. we're going to do it one last time over here. So pull through. And little disclaimer, in the second row, of course, it's going to be a little tighter because your work, I guess, thinks that you're doing a single crochet. But don't worry, when you're going to do the next rows, you're not going to even see the difference. And it's not going to be as tight as the first one. So now we're going to chain again, turn the work over. And now, you see these little inverse V shapes? That is where you're going to go through when you're going to crochet again. So, one last row. You're going to go through this space, yarn over, pull, and pull through these loops. Again, you go through this V shape, yarn over, you pull, yarn over, pull through the loops, and then you see this kind of crooked V shape. You're going to go through that, yarn over, pull, and pull through these two loops. You can't really see it with this particular thick yarn, but in the next video I'm going to show you a project that I did with this exact stitch, and you're going to see it much better. Alright, so for this last stitch, which is called the magic ring and is used for plushies and round things, I'm going to use a finer yarn and a finer crochet hook. So this crochet hook is 4 millimeters, and this yarn is also approximately 4 millimeters, because I really want you to see what I'm doing here, because the magic ring is probably one of the most trickiest stitches, so I want you to see correctly. So to start your magic ring, you're going to put the end of your tail on your index and your middle finger, hold it with your thumb, and you're gonna take this one and go around, cross the end of your tail, go around again, and hold this end of the tail and this long part with your thumb. You're going to turn your hand over, and you're going to go under the first row and over the second row. You're going to pull that under the first row, and you're going to turn it like this. So this is what it should look like on your hand. Now, you need to take, again, the second part, the second row, go under, grab it, and pull through the loop. Now you have this first loop. Okay? So now you're going to remove your fingers. Don't cut this tail yet. Keep it. Now you're going to, grab this long end on your index finger. Put your other fingers through this hole. And the number of single crochets that you use on your magic ring depends on the pattern. So for example, the pattern that you follow to make a certain plushie says that you have to chain or single crochet 3 times on your magic ring. You're going to go through that hole, yarn over, pull it under, and same thing we did last time, you're going to pull through the 2 loops. I'm going to do that again, so go under, yarn over, pull it under, yarn over, and pull it through the 2 loops. Once again, under, yarn over, under, yarn over, pull it through the 2 loops. And now you have 3 single crochets on your magic ring, but to close it, you're going to take this very important part of the magic ring, the little short tail, and you're going to pull it so that it makes a ring. And to close it so that it can really be round, you're going to single crochet into the first chain that you made, like this, and going to single crochet like I showed you. So yarn over, pull it through the chain. Oh, whoops, accidentally made a slip stitch there. Okay, going to fix that. So now you're supposed to have 2 loops like this, and you're going to yarn over and pull, and there is your magic ring. So you can see we made 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. That is only the stitch that is sealing this ring together. So these were the stitches that I was going to show you today. So this concludes my first video, the introduction to crochet. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it and if you're interested in my project and what I am gonna do in the future, please stick around, subscribe if you want, follow my videos for more, because new videos are gonna come out very soon and I have a lot to show. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is take 11. Okay.